What's going on, Yu-Gi-Oh fans? Blood Cards in the house, and today I'm going to be coming to you with my updated Gunkan Suship deck profile. Now, if you already know, I did post the Gunkan Suship deck profile, I think maybe like a month-ish ago, around that time, but I had some suggestions in the comments of how to put in certain cards to include and being able to summon Totally Awesome. Plus, I had some ideas of my own, and I kind of ran with it. So this is an updated, more, I would say, more fun, in my opinion, to play, because Totally Awesome is one of my favorite cards. So let's go ahead and get into this. And of course, if you like what you see, don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe. And now to start off the monsters. First of all, I like to play 3 copies of the vanilla monster for this archetype, Gunkan Suship Shari. And they just came out with a higher rarity version for this in the 10s, and it just looks super dope. So I had to go ahead and pick that out because it is dirt cheap. So I like to get little mini rarity upgrades where I can. Next, I like to play triple copies of Gunkan Suship Shari Red. Now, this is the new card that came out in Power of the Elements. Now, this thing its effect is this going to focus? This card's name becomes Gunkan Suship Shari while in the hand, deck, graveyard, or on the field. You can only use the following effect of Gunkan Suship Shari Red once per turn. You can reveal one other Gunkan Suship Shari in your hand, special summon this card from your hand, then you can apply this effect. Special summon one Gunkan monster from your deck except Gunkan Suship Shari, but negate its effects, if any. Then special summon from your extra deck one Xyz monster that special summons... Wait a minute. Special summon from your extra deck one Xyz monster that mentions that special summon. I lost my place there. Special summon monster's name using that monster and this card as material. This card is treated as an this is treated as an XC summon. So this card is super dope because it basically allows you to have 6 copies of the vanilla monster Gunkan Suship Shari in this deck. And as you'll see as we proceed, this entire archetype revolves around having that on the field and then that to XC summon and whatnot. So it definitely is a great addition to the archetype overall, being able to have 6 of those in this deck. And it doesn't count as Gunkan Suship Shari all the time, doesn't count as, so you are able to run 3 and 3. Next, I like to play 3 copies of Gunkan Suship Shirao. I don't know how to pronounce that, my apologies. But it's also a super dope card. Its effect is, if you control a Gunkan Suship Shari or an Xyz monster that has a Gunkan Suship Shari as material, you can special summon this card from your hand. During your main phase, you can special summon one Gunkan monster from your hand except Gunkan Suship Shirao. Then you can take any number of Gunkan Suship Shari from your deck or graveyard, place them on top of your deck in any order. You can only use each effect once per turn. So this card is super dope because now that you have 6 of them, the ability for it to special summon itself and the ability for it to take advantage of its other effect has increased. Actually, it's doubled. So really, really dope. Next, I like to play triple Gunkan Suship Ikura. Ikura is also another super dope card. In my opinion, its effect is, if you control Gunkan Suship Shari, you can special summon this card from your hand. Most of them work that way. You can only special summon Gunkan Suship Ikura once per turn this way. During your main phase, you can excavate the top 3 cards from your deck, and if you do, you can either add to your hand or special summon one excavated Gunkan Suship Shari. Also shuffle the rest into your deck. So pretty good searcher. There are, as we go into this deck, you'll see that you can actually stack the top of your deck to have one of the cards up there on the top, and then you can use this thing's effect and take full advantage. So it does work really well. Plus, it does give you some decent draw power, I would say. Next, I like to play 3 copies of Gunkan Suship Uni. Now, I have seen some builds that run this at 2, so if you feel like you're running this, running this at 2, that's believable. That's something that you can do, but I think it's too good. So you can reveal one other Gunkan card in your hand, special summon this card from your hand, then apply the following based on the revealed card. Gunkan Suship Shari, you can special summon the revealed monster. Other, you can place one revealed card on the bottom of the deck. So again, it's just a free special summon. Plus, if you have the Shari in your hand, 1 of 6 now, right? So then you can take advantage of its other effect, and that pretty much gets you an XC summon. You can target one Gunkan monster you control, change its level to 4 or 5. Then you can add one Gunkan Suship Shari from your deck to your hand. So great searcher, and you can only use each effect once per turn. So it's really, really good searcher, which is why I run it at 3. Plus the ability to special summon itself, plus Gunkan Suship Shari essentially gives you free XC summons. So I do approve of running it at 3. Next, I like to play 2 copies of Rescue Rabbit. Now, the Rescue Rabbit's effect is cannot be special summoned from the deck. You can banish this face-up card you control, special summon 2 level 4 or lower normal monsters with the same name from your deck, but destroy them during the end phase. You can only use this effect once per turn. I'm preferring to run two of these just because I feel like when I used to run three, the problem was I'd have them all either in my hand or in the grave, and then I'd pull a rescue rabbit when I didn't need it, right? So that's why I decided to limit it to two. Next are the totally awesome type stuff. So I like to play triple Tenyi Spirit, Shita. I suck at pronouncing this thing, dude. I use it in my shark deck too. I just can never pronounce it. If you control no effect monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. If a face-up non-effect monster you control is destroyed by a battle or card effect, you can banish this card from your hand or graveyard. Then target one of those destroyed monsters, special summon it. Then you can only destroy. Then you can destroy one monster your opponent controls. So this card is super dope because this whole deck revolves around a non-effect monster. So if you have this on the field, or even if you have nothing on the field, you have the ability to special summon this and take advantage of its effects in the grave as well if your vanilla monster goes to the grave. Well, it's in the grave. Next, I like to play a triple tin goldfish. Now, I was running Goblinberg, but it's just kind of the same thing really, but this will help you get into Totally Awesome. So when this card is normal summon, you can special summon one level 4 monster from your hand. So just the free summon, much needed for this deck, because if you can normal summon this and then special summon your Gunkan Suship Shari, and then you can possibly take advantage of some other of the Gunkan cards in your hand, like we read before. If you do control this card, then you can special summon them. So it lets you do that. Plus, because it's a water type level 4, you can go into Bahamut Shark, which in turn will help you get into Totally Awesome. So moving forward, next for the hand traps, you can essentially run whatever you want, depending on circumstances and who you're going against. Probably have something side decked, something or other that you're going to be switching out. But I like to play triple Ash Blossoms. Again, you can use whatever you want in this situation, but I will be playing triple Ash. Next, moving forward, we're going to be looking at the spell cards. So for the spell cards, starting off, I like to play a triple of the field spell, Gunkan Suship, Seaside Supper Spot. Once per turn, if you normal or special summon a Gunkan monsters, even during the damage step, you can place one Gunkan card from your deck to the top of your deck. So that's what I was saying earlier, that you can basically manipulate the top of your deck. That's with the use of this field spell. Once per turn, if a face-up Gunkan monsters you control that was special summoned from the extra deck is sent to the graveyard by an opponent's card, activate this effect. Your opponent pays life points equal to that monster's defense in the graveyard, then you can apply this effect. Special summon one Gunkan Suship Shari from your hand, then special special summon one Gunkan Suship Shari from your hand, then special summon one Gunkan Xyz monster from your extra deck by using that card you control as material. I don't know why, I just can't read today, but yeah, this card is pretty decent, I would say. Overall, does help you stack the top of your deck, which does help you overall, because there are some decent cards in this deck that help you get some additional draw power. So I would definitely recommend that you use this. The only reason I'm not using Terraforming is just I'm trying to limit it to 40 cards. I'm already at 41, so didn't want to go overboard. So if you feel like Terraforming to be able to search this, that's completely understandable. Next, I like to play triple Unexpected Die. And that is just, if you control no monsters, you can special summon one level 4 or lower normal monster from your deck. There are a couple different cards, actually, that work. I'm not remembering off the top of my head, but they're basically, there's one that I think dumps straight to the grave, and then you can special summon another version of that card. I'm sure you guys in the comments can let me know off the top of my head, because I don't remember off the top of my head. But that's also a good, I would say, good replacement if you feel like running that. That's might be the way to go there. But I prefer Unexpected Die. Only problem with Unexpected Die is you have to control no monsters. So something to think about. Next, I like to play triple Piercing the Darkness. Now, this card I feel like was made more for, you know, it's on the card art. It was made for Dark Magician or Blue Eyes, but I think it works pretty well in this too. If you normal or special summon a non-token normal monsters, except during your damage step, you can draw one card. So this is why I love it, because it increases the draw power of this deck, so it does help me get into a lot of other combos and whatnot. When an attack is declared involving an opponent's monster and a monster you control that is level 5 or higher normal monster, or was ritual summoned using a normal monster, or was fusion synchro or Xyz summoned using a normal monster as material, you can make that monster you control gain attack equal to that opponent's monster's attack until the end of this turn. You can only use each effect of Piercing the Darkness once per turn. So this card is insane, because a lot of the extra deck cards, the Gunkan Suship ones specifically, don't have a lot of attack. So this definitely does help, one, me draw, and then secondly, help boost their attack. So, but if this is something you feel like, hey, maybe I can switch this up for something else, more power to you. Everyone will have their own ratios and whatnot of what they're going to be running in their deck, and it's always certain things that people prefer to use and what not to use. So, but I do enjoy using Piercing the Darkness. It has come in pretty handy. Next, I like to play triple Ready Fusion. Now, these just got reprinted in the tin, so I'm really, really excited to finally get my hands on these. But pay 1,000 life points, special summon one level 6 or lower non-effect fusion monster from your extra deck, but it cannot attack. Also destroy it during the end phase. This pretty much is, I use it mostly in order to summon my copy of Rare Fish. So I have 2 copies of Rare Fish in this extra deck. I think you can run 3. The only problem is I was trying to mess around with ratios a bit, and I felt like it was the best way to go because I was trying to squeeze in some other XCs monsters and whatnot in there. So that's why I'll be running 3 Ready Fusions and then 2 copies of Rare Fish. And then lastly for the spell cards, 1 copy of Double or Nothing. This is technically, I have 2 trap cards in this, but I added this last because you're running level 4s, you might as well go for Utopia Double, you know? So this is my 41st card, even though I have 2 trap cards after this. So moving forward for the trap cards, Gunkan Suship Daily Special. This card I really, really do like. I used to run it at 1, but I liked it a lot, so I bumped it up to 2. When you activate this card, you can also reveal 1 Gunkan Suship Shari in your hand. Reveal 3 Gunkan monsters from your deck. Your opponent chooses one of them for you to add to your hand. Also, shuffle the rest into your deck. If you reveal Gunkan Suship Shari in your hand at activation, you can choose the card to add to your hand. So, pretty good searcher. It's a little bit slow because it's a trap card, but I like its secondary effect. You can, instead of your opponent choosing, if this card is in your graveyard, except the turn it was sent there, you can banish this card, then target 3 Gunkan monsters in your graveyard, shuffle them into the deck, then draw 1 card. So not only can you recycle your monsters, but it gives you additional draw power. So I really, really do like this card. A little bit confused on whether or not to play it at 1 or 2. But I do kind of like it at 2, so that's why I'm running it at 2. If you want to run even 40, you could take this out. Or if you want to, I do this, it depends on the type of deck I'm against. So if it's like Eldritch or the guy is a degenerate using Mystic Mine, I will sub in like anything really, Harpy's Feather Duster, Twin Twisters, etc., etc. I guess it would just depend on what you have side deck and whatnot. So moving forward to the extra deck. So starting forward with the extra deck, I first like to run 2 copies of Gunkan Suship Uni's Super Dreadnought. So it is an Aqua Xyz monster, 2 level 5 monsters. So basically you get to manipulate, can I pull it out? There it is. Gunkan Suship, this thing's effect in order to make 2 monsters level 5 in order to bring it out. So that's why I do enjoy Uni as well, because this is technically, in terms of attack and whatnot, is the boss monster for the archetype. So if this card is XC summoned, you can apply these effects in a sequence based on the materials used. So if Gunkan Suship Shari is a material, you can draw 1 card. And that works with all of the Xyz monsters for this archetype. So, and then secondly, Gunkan Suship Uni, this card gains the ability to attack directly. So that's pretty good, I would say. The ability to 2900 attack directly is pretty good. Once per turn, during your main phase or your opponent's battle phase, quick effect, you can target face-up cards your opponent controls up to the number of Gunkan monsters you control, special summon from your extra deck, and then negate their effects. So, plus it has some negates. The only problem is it does target, but I like to have some negates. So, next, I like to play 2 Gunkan Suship Ikura class Dreadnoughts, 2 copies of Gunkan Suship Shirao class Carrier. Next, I like to play 2 copies of Bahamut Shark, and you just need 2 level 4 water monsters for this, and then its effect is you can detach 1 Xyz material from this card, special summon 1 rank 3 or lower water Xyz monster from your extra deck. This card cannot attack for the rest of the turn. And obviously, you're going to be going for both my copies of Totally Awesome. Now, if you want to go 1 and 1, 1 copy of Bahamut Shark and 1 copy of Totally Awesome, I understand that as well. I had to cut out a couple cards from this just to fit in 2 of these. So, like, something like Abyss Dweller is good, negate in the grave. Something like Tornado Dragon to get rid of spells and traps, you know. So that could be useful, just saying, but I had to cut those 2 cards specifically out just to fit 2 and 2. So I just like to give people options of, you know, hey, you guys could use this or you guys can use this. So that ultimately would be up to you. 1 copy of Utopia and then 1 copy of the Utopia Double, of course. Then, of course, since we're running XCs, 1 copy of Divine Arsenal AA Zeus. And then, lastly, the 2 copies of Rare Fish. I ran out of sleeves, so this one will be sleeved eventually, but we'll see how that goes. But that, overall, is my deck. I think it's honestly pretty fun. The last one was pretty fun, too, but I didn't have as many, like, negates. Like, so, if, in my experience, if you're like, this deck is good, but it's not like, you know, meta relevant, you know what I'm saying? So in my experience, what you want to do if your deck isn't the most meta relevant is you want to have as many negates as possible to just try to be able to shut your opponent down, you know? So adding Totally Awesome definitely does help with that. It slows the opponent down. And this deck itself is kind of fast, so, and there's a decent amount of draw power in this deck, so definitely do like that about that. But anyways, guys, this is Platimer Cards signing out for the day. If you like what you saw, don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe. And of course, as always, any suggestions that you have for improvement, any cards you feel maybe I should add or take out, you can let me know about that in the comments below. I'd love to talk to you guys about that. But I'm signing out for the day, and oh my goodness, guys, look at the time.
It's time to do